Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. Today's episode is Haunted Mansion, not The Haunted Mansion. That is the one with Eddie Murphy. This is the one with Rosario Dawson that came out this summer, 2023, July, and most people didn't go see it. Yeah. Anyway, this is the one with Rosario Dawson. So I watched a lot of Rosario Dawson stuff today. The finale of Ahsoka and now Haunted Mansion right after midnight, and it's really late and I need to go to bed. So I try not to make this last too long, but we'll see what happens. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes long, and it's a big cast, but it stars mainly, the main character in this is Ben, played by Lakeith Stanfield. Lakeith Stanfield? Yes, Lakeith Stanfield. He was in Knives Out. I know that. I saw that. And Selma, I believe. But yeah, he is the main character that we follow. I don't want to give you too much information about each of the characters, specifically his, because he is the central character in this, and his story arc is what you're going to be emotionally attached to for the most part. Let's just say. But also, like I said, there's Rosario Dawson, who plays a single mom with her son, who have moved into the eponymous Haunted Mansion, and the one that is styled very much like the New Orleans mansion in Disneyland. But what about the one in Walt Disney World? Yeah, you know what? That gets representation too. So representation matters. You will also see the mansion, because that is slightly different in structure. Not slightly, it's very much structured differently. And the story is pretty much somewhat different. And I'm not as expert on that one as much as I am. I'm not an expert on either of them, but I'm more familiar with the one in Disneyland in California, because I've gone on that a lot of times. This film nearly came out many years ago. Guillermo del Toro showed up at Comic-Con one year and said, "I'm making a Haunted Mansion movie. It's going to be actually scary." And then it never just got made. He got distracted with other stuff. The studio didn't want to do it necessarily. It's just like they didn't really line things up too well. And so eventually now it's gone on to Justin Simeon as the director. And this is as much. It's got scares. You're not going to be like, it's not going to be horror film scares at all. It's very family friendly. It leans hard into the stories of the characters, the ghosts in the Haunted Mansion. If you do not know that there's a lot of stories and a lot of characters that are inhabiting the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland and Disney World, well, hey, there's a lot to know. I learned a lot when I was with a friend. We used to have passes to Disneyland, and we would go every other week at least, and we would spend some time standing in line for Haunted Mansion. It was her favorite ride, and she would tell me all about the details of the Haunted Mansion. And with the whole Guillermo del Toro thing, she's like, he's making this movie, but this is how I would make it. And so she'd bounce ideas off of me, and I'd come back and I'd ask questions, and I'd learn a lot. And we wrote a Haunted Mansion movie while in line for the Haunted Mansion over many months. It was just sort of broke it all down. She sent me the pieces of the script, different things, ideas, concepts, characters she wanted to use. But it was, that was a whole different thing. That's a tangent, but in this, we get a lot of the familiar ghosts. If you're familiar with this ride, it means you usually live in Florida or California, mostly California, and you're obsessed about the ride. People who just come in for a weekend, and you know what? You don't need to know all the stories, the characters, the bride and the Hatbox Ghost and Madame Leota. You don't need to know all of those characters from the ride to understand or enjoy this film. It helps because it is a movie packed with Easter eggs. Characters. If characters can be Easter eggs, if just the wallpaper can be Easter eggs, photos or paintings on the wall, just there's so many little tiny aspects of this film that I never really thought about before. Just like there's a sequence involving a sea captain. In the ride, there's a painting of a sea captain that you walk by when you're about to get on the ride. It becomes a plot point to a certain degree. It's not a big one, but it becomes important to one of the characters to deal with this ghost at some point. So yeah, it's there's a lot going on here. So this is a deep cut kind of thing, and yeah, you know what? It's really meant for the uber fans of the Haunted Mansion. They're the ones who will really appreciate every single thing, because God knows that if they brought out this movie and ignored everything, odds are Guillermo, even though Guillermo loves riding this ride at Disneyland, there are days in the past he's talked about he would go on the Haunted Mansion ride just for fun, just go to Disneyland for the day and ride the Haunted Mansion ride. I guess alone or with his family, I don't know. But it's if they had made this movie without making all the little references to all the major characters and all the little tiny things, the Uber fans would have lost their mind and just hated hard on it. But at the same time, maybe only the Uber fans saw the movie, and maybe that's why it didn't do too well. Because I mean, outside of people who go to Disneyland or Disney World all the time, is there a lot of people who really obsess over any aspect of any ride at the Disney parks? I mean, yeah, unless you go to the parks regularly. Pirates of the Caribbean is a ride at Disneyland that came about around the same time as the Haunted Mansion in the parks, and generally, and technically they have stories that are connected. I was so hoping to see a Pirates of the Caribbean reference, and I don't think the Sea Captain was one of them, but I was hoping to see the rides are connected by a story. So you can dig around for that, look on the internet and go to the parks or whatever, and you'll realize that there's a connection between the two rides. Small one, not important, but it's there. But Pirates of the Caribbean, when it came out, rode on the back of a Jerry Bruckheimer big action extravaganza and the charisma of Johnny Depp. So yeah, even though he was technically a secondary character to Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, he stole the movies. I mean, I realize, yes, he's Disney's good luck charm in so many ways, but yeah. In this, I know I'm getting way off track, but in this, we have a number of different characters. We have Danny DeVito playing an expert in local architecture and history. We have Rosario Dawson as a single mother with a child who is just not very popular. We have a priest played by Owen Wilson who recruits Ben to help out the single mother and try to help her get rid of the ghosts, supposedly, or at least identify and find the ghosts. We have Tiffany Haddish, who shows up, and she's a medium, like a fortune teller type of medium, who may or may not be legit, let's just say. She puts on a good show. Other notable names you'll recognize in this are Jamie Lee Curtis. This one's not a surprise. She plays Madame Leota. So yeah, we definitely get to see Madame Leota in this. If you don't know who that is, that's the floating head in the jazz room or whatever. It's the floating head speaking out spells inside the ball. So that is one of the most iconic pieces of this. And if you think, hey, well, they're not going to do that thing. They're not going to go to that room in this movie. There's no reason to. Nope, they did it. They absolutely did it. Oh, the attic? Yeah. The dining room where the people are dancing, floating, the ghosts are floating and dancing? Yeah, they do that. The bride? Yep. Master Gracie and his whole story and everything else? Absolutely. Who's the big villain in this? I'm not telling you. No. But there's a new addition to the Disney World Haunted Mansion that might give you a clue. So Who plays? I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say. It's Morbin time. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's lots of comedy, lots of scary moments, but they're not. It might frighten tiny little kids, but I don't know. It's still. It's the Haunted Mansion. If you can take your kid on the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, you can take your kid and see this movie. I think it's pretty much the same thing. Again, it's funnier than the ride. You know, it's meant to be funny. But yeah, it's if you're an Easter egg loving fan of the Haunted Mansion, yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. But yeah, some people are like, oh, maybe it didn't live up to expectations, but I don't know. I think this is a movie that kind of you can watch a couple times, like in the background, and just it'll grow on you and might get some I don't know. It's. I think I need to see it a second time to better appreciate it. There's a big spectacular effects-driven scene at the end with a lot of emotion. But yeah, it's all I'm going to tell you. I can't really say too much because it's still too new and too many people have not seen it. But between a great cast and pretty great effects, and a lot of them practical, I think. I mean, obviously the ghosts aren't practical, but yeah. But again, they also kind of lean into Owen Wilson being Owen Wilson, so he gets to be. You know, his character just leans into Owen Wilson's strengths in how he deals with certain situations. But yeah, there's nothing after the credits that I saw. If I missed it, maybe I stepped out of the bathroom real quick and stayed too long. But there is a neat little. I'm not going to ruin this for you, but take special notice of the tour guide in the other mansion. When they go visit the other mansion to get more information about a certain ghost, take notice. I didn't recognize her at first. I don't know why I didn't recognize her. But the guide, and I think the second guide is also somebody, but I can't recall who that is offhand. But first guide in the second mansion. She's blonde. I think her name's Pat. And it's her tone of voice that gave it away for me. So, yeah. When you see who that is, she's uncredited, by the way. You won't see her name. You shouldn't see her name in the credits. But yeah, if you know who it is, say it in the comments. If you're going to spoil it for people, I don't know. Maybe you don't want to spoil it for people, but yeah, it's. I think it's good fun. I think it was not meant to be taken too terribly seriously, but it's probably not going to get a sequel. If it does, maybe it'll make a series. You know, they can put a Disney Plus series on here, put a 6-8 episodes. You might get a kick out of some storytelling that way. Maybe it lends itself to episodic storytelling rather than a film. Don't know. I was going to pick another random episode, but I think I have an idea. I'm going to do something that fits with this beautifully, and I'm going to pick another one that thematically fits. And by the way, this is a sneak preview for what's to come later this month with Halloween. I'm going to do a week's worth of already picked Halloween-themed episodes, spooky season episodes. So I think I pretty much picked them out. It's going to be a variety of different things that are on Disney Plus, but I want to just sort of go through all the Halloween stuff, kind of like I do with the Christmas stuff during that season. So tomorrow, though, not at the end of the month, tomorrow we're going to watch The Ghost and Molly McGee. So yeah, it's another haunted house kind of thing, comedy, people, ghosts. So, and it's a series, so it makes it easier for me to watch. So The Ghost of Molly McGee is what we're watching next in the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I will see you back here tomorrow with that. Bye.